If you've been following my channel, I'm sure you'll be wondering, what on heaven's earth is it with you and these funny experiences? Well, here's another one. So how many of you remember the Ebola crisis of 2014? Don't worry, I didn't get Ebola. That wasn't it. And nobody I know got Ebola. But here's what happened. If you remember well, schools resumed late that term. So it was around October before schools resumed for the first term of that year. That morning, I remember it just like it was yesterday. My kids had woken them up to get them ready. And as they were getting ready for school, I made their breakfast and I was going to go and drop them in school. I wasn't sure if the school bus would come because it was a new term, but I was going to go and drop them. So while they were getting ready and eating, I was about to get up and go to the bedroom, and then I felt this sharp pain in my stomach. And I kind of winced. And the kids were like, "Mom, what's wrong?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I just had a hurting tummy, but it's fine." And before I could walk the 10 steps to the bedroom, I was doubled over in pain. As in, the pain just went from like 0 to 10 in less than a minute. It was surreal. It was out of this world. I was screaming and crying. I was wanking out of bed and it's like, "What's up?" and all that. I started throwing up. I couldn't understand. So I'd been dealing with ulcer before that. I thought maybe it was the ulcer, but this was severe. It was horrible. Anyway, school bus came, luckily took them to school. My husband was with me, and after like 15 minutes of throwing up and retching and all that, I felt better. A few hours later, my aunt and I were meant to go out, so she came over. She's a doctor. She checked on me. Everything was okay, and she just said, "Okay, you'll be fine." And she just asked me to have some drugs handy and all that. And I was fine. So we went out. And while we were at the place where we went to, the pain just started all over again. But it wasn't as severe at first. So I told her, "You know what, let me just drive to get myself the drugs," because where I was driving to wasn't far. She insisted on following me. Luckily, she insisted on following me, because by the time I got outside the compound where we were, I can't even explain the level of pain. Before it was 10, this was like 15 or something. So she drove me to the pharmacy, we got the drugs, and I took the drugs, but nothing was helping. So she drove me to the teaching hospital. My brother-in-law works there. Eventually we did a scan and they found a huge ovarian cyst. And I had never had any symptoms, nothing. They were like, "Most likely I'm going to have surgery and all that. But eventually, by like 3 o'clock, the pain has subsided. Everything was good. I waited in the hospital for like an hour or two. Everything was fine. They gave me drugs. Said, "Okay, if the pain comes back again, we're going to have to have surgery." But everything was good. I hadn't called my mom, so I could. At this point, now I felt better. I'd taken drugs. I'd seen the doctor, so I did call her and tell her, "Well, this is what happened and that. And everything was good." So from like 3 o'clock, I was fine. I was perfectly fine. And then around 8:30 at night, all hell was let loose. It started again. This pain was out of this world. If before it was 15, I think this one was like 30 or something. It was indescribable. It was like labor pain that doesn't wane. Labor pain, there are some down periods when it kind of wanes and then you feel better for a few minutes. But this one didn't wane. It was just like continuous. It was horrible. I thought the end had come. It was bad. And so I was rushed to the hospital that night, and before you know what's happening, the doctors are like, "We have to have emergency surgery, this and that." That was it. At 3 a.m. I'd had surgery, and I remained in the hospital for 4 days. Just like that. I woke up fine one morning, and that evening I was having a surgery. As I talk about shocked. Before then, I had never spent time in the hospital except for having children. I was always healthy. There was nothing wrong with me. I couldn't. I was in shock myself. But that was it. I was in surgery, and then I was out for like 4 to 6 weeks. I couldn't do a lot of stuff because of the surgery site and all. That was it. It just taught me that women, you need to check your health. You need to be on top of your health. Go for your medical checkups from time to time. If I had gone for a checkup maybe within the past year or 6 months, they would have seen it and they would have kept an eye on me. But I've been healthy. I've never, not from my childhood, I had never spent a day in the hospital until I got pregnant and I had to have babies. Apart from that, I've never had cause to be in the hospital. So I didn't put a lot of premium on checking myself. Moms, women, please go for your health checkups. It's very important. If that's all this video inspires you to do, then I'll be happy. I haven't had to have an emergency since then, but that happened today and I just thought to share today. If you enjoyed watching this video, you learned something, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of my videos when I post them. Ciao!